Welcome to Whitney's World. I'm your host, Whitney Ward. Here we explore spirituality, mindset, and manifestation. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go. Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Whitney's World podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Morgan Ward, and I am so thankful that you've tuned in wherever you're at on this planet. Thank you for being here. This is episode 91. I have a solo episode for you guys today. I want to kind of break down everything that's been going on, all the magic that's been happening, and really what shift is happening in me and what you guys can expect coming forward for Whitney's World and everything that I have going on. So when I first started my podcast, I know I have a lot of new listeners here, so I want to kind of briefly touch on who I am and my journey and why I am here and what I'm doing. So about 3 years ago, my life came crumbling down. I had built a very successful real estate career in Colorado Springs, and I was definitely not living my purpose. I was definitely not living in my light, and I had gotten very distracted in guys and relationships, selling houses, and kind of just doing my own thing and really not being like responsible or accountable to who I am and why my soul is here. So after in 2021, so I started selling real estate in 2017. In 2021, in December, I was dating a guy, and I knew like our relationship was not good. There were a lot of things that were going wrong. There was a lot of toxicity. There was a lot of just commotion going on, and really for instance, he had posted on Facebook twice that I cheated on him, and I've never cheated on anyone. And I think, well, what I know from learning and expanding myself now is that narcissists project who they are onto you. And so that's what was happening. You know, he's projecting things onto me that weren't true. And I didn't really know at the time that that's what was going on. And so I just kept taking it, and he would love bomb me and tell me he was sorry. And it just kind of continued down this really toxic cycle of things not going well. I wasn't being treated nicely, and I kept going back. So finally, I knew that I could feel something was going to shift. I could feel that there was going to be something like massive happen. And I don't even know if I've ever talked about this before, but I had this feeling where like I knew something was going to happen, something was going to go wrong. And I even told him, like, by the way, I'm not going into the new year like in this relationship if things do not dramatically turn around. Okay. So what happened was, we were at a Christmas party, and this chick walked up to me, and she's like, his ex has been at his house for 3 weeks. I knew it was true because we hadn't been staying together for 3 weeks. So at that moment, after all the chaos and all the shit went down, I realized, like, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. Like, at some point, I have to be strong enough to walk away from this person, because really all they're doing is keeping me in a cycle of chaos. And it wasn't who I was. It wasn't what I was meant to do. And I really had to know that I was strong enough to walk away. So I told him to leave the party. And later that night, through like all this stuff, I came home, and my entire house was destroyed. Like, TVs ripped off the walls, computers broken, my carpet was ripped, my plants were everywhere, my desktop was broken, curtains falling off, like ripped off the wall. It was crazy, okay? Like, so traumatic. Everything that I'd worked so hard for completely demolished, right? Like, in the blink of an eye, just like one moment it's there, and the next moment it's completely destroyed. So this is my signal. This was the signal the universe gave me to really wake me up and to show me, like, you're not going down the wrong path. I had been manifesting moving back to Florida since I was a literal child. Like, I just knew I wanted to go back to Florida. But then after high school, I went to college for a year. Didn't resonate with me, so I dropped out. So I'd been manifesting moving back to Florida. I was like even trying to get a scholarship to play soccer in Florida, but none of that worked out. I went to college for a year and my soul was like, this isn't it. So I dropped out, got a couple jobs, and then, I just really started to believe in myself. I really started to go down the path of like, I need to do something for me that's going to make me money so I can like go and do what I need to do. So then I ended up getting into real estate in my 20s. And then all this time though, through all of that, like my goal was Florida. I just never like took the leap and moved to Florida. So when my life came crumbling down, that was my opportunity that I knew was to move. And so I left everything. I got my real estate license, moved across the country, packed up my stuff, bought a house. I was like, I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know what's going on, but like I am going to do this because I had been manifesting moving back to Florida for so long, right? So I finally get back to Florida and I am like in all these court hearings and like I have to deal with all this chaos from my ex. And he kept getting arrested and all these things were happening. And it really blocked me from being like truly on my healing journey because I had to give out so much energy to, make sure that he paid for what he did, right? And so about a year after I moved here, I got a call. And this is the reason I'm telling you guys this story is because I'm going to tell you how everything has full circle since I started my podcast a year and a half ago, how everything's kind of coming together now. And I'm like, I know why I did this. I remember what was going on and like everything's coming to this moment right here, right now. And I just want to share it with you guys because I really want you to know that like you have the power, you have the control in your life. And it's all a matter of you taking the leap and really following your heart and knowing that like you're meant to grow and expand and go on the journey of life, but you have to be willing to jump and jump and jump and jump until you get to where you want to go and to where your soul really wants to go because you are on a soul's journey. So I had gotten a phone call and my ex was back in jail and I had logged into the like WebEx or whatever. And basically he had done the same thing to me that he did to a little girl, the new girl that he was dating, her daughter. And he destroyed her room. And I had seen actual photos on social media. I don't even know how to describe what happened to me in that moment, but it was like something was like birthed in me. And I had this like overwhelming like rage and anger of like, this has to stop because this wasn't the first time this had happened with like things since my house was destroyed. There were other things that were happening. And I felt like, I was sitting here and I was fighting so much and I was like, so invested from across the country trying to rebuild my life in this chaos of my old life. And I was being pulled and I was being like dragged back into it. And my emotions were like all over the place. And I was just feeling so angry in the moment. And I'm like, you're not learning. How are you going to continue to do the same things to other people when like the things that you're doing hurts people, like truly? And so in that moment where I heard this, I felt my soul, my higher self say, it's your time. You need to start talking and start a podcast. And so my podcast was literally birthed through this traumatic experience that had actually happened with someone that I didn't even know. But I had felt so deeply and I felt so strongly for them that I was like, the only way for me to keep actually fighting against this is to start talking about it and to start talking about my life and my journey and open myself up to share my story. And so that's what I've been doing. This is episode 91. And ever since I've been on this journey, that's all I've done is committed to showing up every week and to finding myself, to finding my purpose, to finding what I'm here to do and why God put me on earth. And it has been an insane journey. It has been every emotion that you could possibly feel. I've gone through it on this journey, shedding the old parts of me, forgiving people, forgiving everyone that's hurt me, forgiving myself, because I think forgiving yourself can sometimes actually be the hardest part of healing, because you're like, why did I not love myself to the point that I allowed other people to abuse me? And because you were abusing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and then by allowing other people from the outside to abuse you as well. And so anyway, the past few months has really been where I feel like I'm getting my clarity. I feel like things are dropping in. I'm getting downloads. I'm getting direction. I'm seeing visions. It's kind of like this whole thing that I feel like I'm meant to bring into reality is now finally like complete, in the sense of like, I do feel like I have the full idea, the full imagination, and your imagination is God. So if you are manifesting something, or you are, doing different types of meditations, or you're on your healing journey and you do anything that talks about meeting your higher self, that is your higher self. Like, essentially, I like to think of it as like, this is a video game. You are the character. You are the avatar. You can change your avatar. And I've done that. Like last year, I completely transformed. I'm literally not the same person. And you can change your avatar by changing your beliefs, by changing your systems inside of you and putting in a new program of who you want to be. But you really need to like connect yourself to your higher self. And it's funny. I did write some notes, and I haven't even looked at them since I've started this, but I know what I'm saying because I wrote the notes. So what I want to share with you guys today is a little bit of just transparency. It's very important to me to be transparent. And I also want you guys to like see kind of everything that I'm doing and maybe start connecting the dots, because I've been doing certain things but haven't really been explaining it because I've been trying to like download the information and get like the full vision. And so what has happened to me in the past couple of weeks is I feel like, one, everything is unfolding for me perfectly. And I have this like innate knowing that I am aligned and I am doing exactly what I'm meant to do. Sometimes I definitely get in my own head, but I really try to breathe and like not stay stuck in my head, especially as I am transitioning from like my old self, like completely into like my new self. It's like, it's a lot. There's a lot of purging. It's like, I feel like I cry a lot, but it's more of not like a crying of like, I'm sad. It's coming from a place of like, oh my gosh, I'm getting it. And I realized that like I had to go through all of that shit for like right here, right now in this moment. And so I have a friend that had connected me and Kelly, which we talked about him on our podcast. And it's crazy how when you are on your journey, things start to come to you not only through signs and synchronicities, but through people. And when Kelly had told me, like, I want to be on your podcast, we'll shoot some content and then we'll record the podcast, and we were like definitely connected, I was really nervous. And then when we were doing it and we were creating our content, we were at the beach, I had this like feeling of like, this is what I'm meant to be doing right now. Like, this is the path. This is what I need to start doing with other women. And after we recorded our episode, I had another friend call me. She's like, hey, like, I think it's time that you start like bringing people onto your podcast. Like, I really think you're ready. And it's funny because Kelly had just left my house, and I told her, I'm like, bro, like, I literally just got done recording with someone and I'm releasing it on Wednesday. And she's like, no way. And so she's like, why don't you post on social media and ask like who has a story they want to share? And so I did that because my friend told me to. And I was listening to the signs that other people were giving me based off of like it feeling good, it resonating with me. It felt very like I had this like yes inside. Like it was just like a neutral, like, yes, like this is the unfolding of the next step. And so I ended up posting on Facebook and I had multiple people reach out to me that they wanted to share their story. And so I'm recording on Wednesday with my friend and one of my friends, which I think that one will drop next week. And then Sunday I have another content day and recording day with another friend. And really what I am seeing in my like imagination is that Whitney's world was birthed from a story that was connected to me and someone on the outside, the woman and her daughter, right? And so Whitney's world is supposed to obviously be an unfolding of my life, but give a platform to women that want to share their story and also men. But like, I definitely want to lean heavy on the women but definitely men too, because like, yeah, I love the idea of like masculine, feminine energy and really healing that and creating this beautiful space for people to just connect and like share their stories. So now that everything's kind of unfolding, I feel like I want to just put it out there of like my vision and allow you guys to watch it unfold too, because it's amazing when I tell you guys like how things have happened, but this is true manifestation. What I'm about to start sharing with you guys, what I am going to tell you that I'm working on and I am bringing from my higher self and literally expressing it out into the 3D. And I really feel so strongly like this is who we're meant to be. We are meant to break free of the old limiting version of ourselves and really awaken to our true self and realize like this is a game we came here to play and you just have to find your true character. And so I feel like Whitney's world is to give women a platform that are the queens. Okay. So we are going to create a queendom, and we are, as women, we are going to really start to learn from other women and their experiences through life and what they're doing. And maybe if you don't know what you want out of life, maybe by listening and tuning in, something can be sparked inside of you that could give you a key that you're looking for. Because I do believe that life is a giant like treasure hunt, and what you're looking for is you. You're actually looking for your true self and who you're meant to be and express into this world. And so that's where I feel like the idea that I want to bring to the world is to connect with the queens, connect to the women that have really been through shit, that have really incredible stories to share with the world and to inspire you and to inspire your friends and family and to inspire people to realize that just because you thought you were a version of who you are, it's not actually who you are. Who you truly are is this beautiful expression of the divine, of God. And you are meant to express that into the world as light, love, and your true self. But it doesn't need to be like fairies and like Cinderella. Like there is a dark feminine energy, there's a light feminine energy, there is a more like there's just like differences. But when we bring all the queens together, when we really start to open up to this like queendom, I feel like so many people are going to be able to find their true self by tuning in, by connecting with like-minded souls and realizing like, hey, we're all in this together. So we need to share our ideas. We need to share our experiences. We have to realize that we're in this together. And if someone fails, it means that they didn't learn the lesson they were meant to learn, and they just need to be taught differently. So the way that you find your true self is literally by disconnecting from who you thought you were and trying new things and opening yourself up to new experiences and putting yourself out there and listening to that voice that is leading you and guiding you to do something that is probably scaring you and making you feel like you could never do that. Like, I get it, because with where I'm going and with what I feel like my mission is now, I'm like almost have like a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, holy shit. Like, this is like a big deal. Like, this is a big vision that I have that I feel like was given to me. And I've been manifesting this. I've been manifesting big change and really transforming from who I was to who I'm really meant to be. And so I want to, with the queens that connect with me and the kings, but with the queens, I really want it to be about you realizing that you need to connect your heart to your mind, and you need to have mind-heart coherence. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. When your mind and your heart are in rhythm and they are in sync, you are literally a channel for the divine. You are able to tap into a higher consciousness. You are able to see things differently. You are able to break the habit of being yourself and break that version of who you were into who you were meant to be. And like for me, when I moved and I started on this journey, I was already broken. I had really no choice but to open myself up and to start learning new things and trying new things, because what I had done up until then, like, obviously didn't work. And so that was a sign that was like, okay, well, I need to learn something different now, because everything that led me to that moment clearly was not the answer I was looking for. And so as I started to go on my journey and learn and expand myself, I really started to understand manifestation. I started to understand that we are creators, that we are meant to play the game of life, that you are really meant to live a life that is calm, peaceful, filled with abundance, filled with opportunities, filled with the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is you tapping into the highest version of you, you tapping into who you're meant to be and why you're here. But until you separate and get all of the old things and all of the programming out of your mind, you really have to like scrub your mind. You have to like, you're essentially inputting a new program of like the way that you feel like you should be. And it's really important to me to connect with the people that are maybe feeling like you don't know what to do. You're lost. Maybe everything has shattered for you. Maybe you have rebuilt yourself, but you're feeling stuck. Maybe you feel like you don't know what's next, but you know you're made for more, and you know you're not really happy, you're not really thriving, you're not really living the life that you know you came here to live. This is my message now, is that we are coming for your heart and your mind to get your heart and mind in coherence. We want to make sure that the desires on your heart are meant for you. The desires that you have inside of you, you are meant to bring into this physical world. You are meant to bring into the 3D reality. I mean, if you go anywhere and you just look, like, we are creating this life. And so many of us have just been left out of the game because we didn't realize how much power we have. We didn't realize that we could actually change our identity from like the little small version that we were trained to be into like realizing that that's all a lie and that's all an illusion, but who we're meant to be, who we really are, is already inside of us. We just need to get rid of all of the darkness, all of the bullshit, and tap into who we are really meant to be. And when we do this, when we start to really go on the journey to be like, who am I? Why am I here? And what the hell is going on? You can start to question things. And when you start to be able to question things, you now are looking and seeking. When you seek, you find. When you knock, the door shall be opened. It is a way of life, but we have been taught to not question. We've been taught to not ask why. We've been taught to not go seek opportunities because we're so afraid of rejection. But the truth is that all of that are limiting beliefs. All of those things are holding you back from who you're really meant to be and being limitless and being the superhuman that you are, because you are literally meant to take everything that has happened to you and you are meant to transform it and create something from it, which is what I did. I created the trauma and the pain and all of the things that held me down. And now I have a brand I'm building. I have all this clarity. I know, really how I'm able to help people and to realize that you have only gone through all the shit you went through because you have a calling, you have a purpose. There is something you're meant to do and bring into the earth. You're meant to bring your gifts to humanity, but you must heal and you must scrub your mind of the old and you must imprint a new program. You have to. Like, it's actually why you're here, to transform the dark and transcend into light. Literally. Like, that's why we're here. It's not to just be stuck and struggle in the 3D. It's to realize that everything that you've created up until this point is just the old program. And when you start to learn that you are in control of your mind, you are in control of your life, you actually can achieve your dreams and desires. It's just a matter of you reprogramming your mind and you really tapping into your divinity, your true self, and who you came here to be. So it is my goal to bring on queens and create a queendom. And on top of that, create this group of men and create a space where like kings and queens can come together, where they can meet, where they can connect. And again, like, I feel like it is a mission. Like, this is like to me, I've been feeling like, just to be transparent with you guys, the past 3 weeks, I've been feeling very like heavy, but like not so much in the sense of like, it's just like my old life is like just burning away and it can get heavy. And I feel like I'm having to really integrate all of this knowledge and also like believe in myself. Because if I don't believe in myself, I can't do this. If I don't realize that like this is the plan, that I have been asking for all of this. I've been manifesting, a better life and freedom, and I want to travel and I want to, really help people because I know what it's like to be broken, lost, afraid, not know what's going on, not having anything, not having anyone, like literally everything just came crumbling down and feeling like no one understands and no one really gets it and like you're alone in this world. And on top of that, like I've just kind of always felt like I never really fit in, but I've always been a leader. I've always been the leader. And but I was always trying to fit in. So it's like, I'm a leader, but like, I'm trying to fit in. Like, it just kind of was always contradicting myself. And so now, like, all of this is happening, and, everything that I've been doing has been leading me to this moment. And I'm like, of course, like, I'm being asked to usher in something like this. Of course I am. Like, it's meant for me. I was made for this. Like, this is who I am. This is the purpose of my life. This is what gets me excited and lights me up and makes me want to keep going and learning and striving and creating and doing all of these things. And so it is a very exciting and heavy thing to carry, because I feel like it's time to kind of let it out now that I feel like I have the full circle, and to just share with you guys like where I'm going and what I see, and let you guys watch, because I know that this is who I am. I know that this is what I'm meant to do. And there's been so many signs and synchronicities and things just speaking to me. And it really does come down to me continuing to believe in myself every day, and me continuing to push forward and not give up and not back down, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's weird, even when it, doesn't like make sense. Just like, no, this is the path. This is what I'm meant to do. This is my calling. This is my purpose. This is why I had to go through all of this shit that I had to go through, because I need to be able to hold a space for queens to come in and like, I've been resonate with people, like really feel people. Like, I understand people are struggling. I understand that you've been through hell and back, but we don't have to keep living like that. We don't have to continue to be bound by our circumstances and be chained to these old limiting programs and to be chained to the 3D reality that we're not even a part of. Like, we are beyond that. Like, we are Christ consciousness. Like, there is God in you waiting for you to turn on and follow that and move down that path for your life, and to realize that you are not who you think you are, but you are the queen of your life. And when you awaken to that queendom inside of you, everything is going to change. And that is the purpose. And the name that I feel, which the name came to me, I don't even know how long this has been, but the name, the Queen of Hearts, is who I am. And that is like my character. That is like the one that I can play in the game and really create this creation around it. Like, Whitney's world is this world, but like, I am the character of the Queen of Hearts. And I am here to help you connect to your heart so that you can actually find your divinity within, so you can actually find your true self in the world and play your character, so you can play the game, become the queen of your life. But like, this is when you start to go on this path. Don't be surprised if everything in your life completely turns around and shifts, because your soul is now, by even hearing this, is now like waking up if it's not already awake. But you are the queen. You are so special, and you are meant to lead and show people how to manifest your life into this world and create the new identity and go on this self-transformation journey and really believe in yourself. And if you are where you want to be, but let's say, you're just not as confident, or you really want to like be more of yourself, then this is also the place for you. Like, this is literally you realizing that you are the queen, and you're the queen of something. And like, you're going to go on your own journey and come out like, I am the queen of blank. And when we have this amazing group of women and these queens around us, we're not only going to find our place in the world, but we're going to find our soul sisters. We're going to find the people that we're meant to connect with. And we're going to be able to help each other. We're going to be able to help heal each other, because each person is going to bring something special into the queendom that needs to be there. And this is what I feel God is asking me to bring, is asking me to usher into humanity. And again, like, it's really scary. And it is like, for me, it's like, damn, like, you have to have some audacity to feel like this is what you're meant to do. And I do. And like, I've been searching so long for this. I've been seeking so long. You guys have no idea. Like, I've been at war with myself since moving here, just like trying to figure out, like, who am I? What's the purpose of my life? And what the hell am I doing here? Because there was also a time in my life where I was really depressed. I was really not good. I had very dark thoughts. And that is not who we are. That is the illusion of who we've been programmed to be. But it's not our true divinity. It is not our true self. And it is not the truth. And so we, as human beings now, have to start doing this in our own lives. And we have to become the manifestation of God. We have to become who we're meant to be so that we can actually change the world and change our lives and break the generational curses and really be who we're meant to be in this earth. So that is where we're headed, guys. I hope you love it. Let me know in the comments. And I want to read a mission statement that I actually got in the shower today. So this is from the Queen of Hearts to you, to your heart. What is the true desire of your heart? It's meant for you because it is you. Together, we'll unlock that truth. I'm a queen and so are you. That's why our souls are connected. We're always seeking each other. And now we rise together. Your desires are divine. When queens rise, the world changes. We are warriors. We are the light. And one thing about the light, it always wins. Welcome to Whitney's world. Let's connect your heart and mind and claim the life you're destined for. So that was the download I got in the shower today, because I've been trying to figure out, like, how do I explain the Queen of Hearts to people? And today, that was when I realized, like, it's to connect your heart and your mind so that you can be who you're really meant to be. And really, what I want you guys to focus on this week is realizing and believing that you are a queen. Even if you don't feel like that right now, you need to know in your being that that's who you are. If you're listening to me, you're a queen. We did not connect and you're not one. That's just not how this works. Like attracts like. So no matter where you're at in life, no matter what's going on, you are a queen and you are on the journey to figure out who you are in this world and to shine your light bright, because you're meant to shine. And be excited for the ride, because when you start to come across this information, when you really start to unfold yourself, when you really start to hear stories and the things that, so many people have gone through, you're going to realize that you've gone through stuff too, and that you are meant to help people, because there are so many people that need your help. There are so many people that need the queens to rise up and to fight for the people that can't fight. It is who we are, and it is why we're here. So that is what is coming. And I'm really excited I'm excited to get that out, because I've been telling people, like, out in the streets, like very few people. But I feel like today was time where it's like, I'm just going to talk about this on the podcast. I want everyone to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and this is my vision. So I'm excited for you guys to join along the journey and find your true self, your queendom, your kingdom, whatever that is for you. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have a story that you want to share, you can email me at whitneysworldpodcast@gmail.com. You can also add me on TikTok. It's Whitney's World Vibes. You should be able to find it by Whitney's World on Instagram and TikTok. But I have 2 TikToks, and my new one that I just started is called Whitney's World Vibes. And then my Instagram is Whitney's World. So you guys find me there. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really excited to switch things up, change things up, and trust my own journey and trust myself and trust my path, because I've been working very hard to be here. And I'm really excited to share this with you all. And I can't wait to see you on the other side. I love you guys. As always, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go.